Hi everybody. Okay, so um, forgive me for the description for this stream. I actually forgot to update until like 10 seconds after I started, so it has last week's description for the stream. Um, Today is actually going to be a relatively short stream. Our candles are done, our wax melts are done. Um, so mainly we're working on the dragons. Uh, and I was going to do some soaps today. You can see over here. But I am nowhere near ready for that, so we'll probably start that on Tuesday. Um, since it's a mountain pour, it doesn't take 6 weeks to cure. It only takes I like to do at least a minimum of two. But we'll have a full 4 weeks for it to fully cure and harden and everything. Um, so there is that. So something to look forward to on Tuesday. um, let's see. And my camera got all messed up. Yay! Give me a second. I fix it. Okay, there we go. Much better. Okay, so yeah, what we're doing today is we've got a dragon in the printer, which I will show you guys the screen so you can see which dragon that is. We have one that, actually I'm not sure if I posted the pictures for this one yet. Ooh. And I haven't. The last one I posted was the butterfly wyvern. So, sorry. Okay, let me switch screens here. Oh, I got more screens today. Alright, so let me figure out which one is which here. Craft 2. Okay, you see my dragonflies, but okay. I'm not quite sure how well this camera does. Apparently it does not like to focus, so let's try the other one. And yeah, okay. Apparently my screens want to be difficult today. Yeah. My screens want to be very difficult today. Now we're getting somewhere. That just seems really weird. But, okay. So I'm not going to be able to do that because, yeah, it's just being weird. So we'll go back to this one. Nice clear camera. Kind of give him a C. This is Tiny Heart. Okay, not to be confused with Light Heart or Dark Heart. Okay, so he is slightly different. Okay, there will be other color variations of him, but for right now, this is the only one we've got. The one that I have in the printer, let me go to screen share, give me a moment. Okay, let me find my... Huh. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, give me a second, y'all. Window capture. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. I know, it just took up the whole screen. That's okay. We're going to bring this down slightly. So, I don't know why my program is being a little funky today. It's weird. Okay, so I know there's really not much to see at the moment, but that's because I'm zoomed in really, really close. Because as you can see, I'm coloring something, and all you see is just a single foot, and that's because I have it isolated at the moment. Because yes, I am coloring the nails on this guy here. And then see how I do this, and I do it by the triangles only because it's so much easier. To get nice clean lines with these, as you know. Gotta go with the shape of the nail. And, you know, one of the other reasons that I do with the triangles instead of just a simple, you know, paint circle that they offer, this piece here, is because it's a lot more precise. I know exactly what I'm coloring. All that kind of goody stuff. So I know some of you are out there like, well, I thought all you had to do was, you know, pick the colors you want and print. And on some are that easy, but not all of them. You know, others I have to basically do this if I want to separate colors or to add a color. And I'm sure there's probably somebody out there going, well, this is boring, I don't want to watch her do this. But this is part of the process. This is what we do. And I have been working on quite a few most of the morning. I should say most of the day today already. But, and this is another baby dragon that I'm doing the color profile for. As soon as I'm done with the foot, or at least these 3 nails, I will show you the entire dragon. Although I'm sure some of you I've already guessed what it is, you know, just by the foot alone. One nail done. Let's see where our lines take us here. Some, but that's okay. Oh, I see what happened here. Okay. There we go. Now that's a line. I love it when she separates the pieces like this because it makes it so much easier to do this. You know, when the pieces aren't separated and you have to work around the entire dragon, it actually makes it a bit difficult. Because a lot of times the feet are hidden by part of the body trying to get at certain angles. Okay, I think we got it. Yeah, this is when I use the circles, is when I notice something is just slightly off. Okay. Let's check our bloom here. There we go. Touch-up spots, no big deal. So the one bloom, so that makes that nice and easy. Okay. Y'all are probably like, "Man, show us the dragon." Okay, okay. So this is the baby cherry blossom. Isn't she adorable? Okay, and I'm going through, and as you can see, I've got some of the front done. The back isn't quite done yet. Just fine tuning her. Okay. Let's skip the foot for right now because, as you all saw, the nails can get a little involved. Alright, let's see. Oh, yay, that one worked out nice and easy. Let's see if this one will. Yay! They don't normally go that easy. Okay. Isn't it pretty? Okay. So, tail's good. And I've only got the one foot done so far. Oh, I think that moved. rotate slightly so we can come over here. I got that first one done. Now we can come over here. Alright. And every once in a while I'm noticing that when I click the center pieces, I'll get one petal on the big one that'll change as well, and I'm like, what the? Okay. There's that piece. On to the next one. Okay, so you guys get the point. You know, this is how I colorize everything, you know. Right now we have 3 filaments chosen for this one. Of course I could add a 4th and add a 4th color. But we're not going to go and do that today. I do have one that I have been debating on adding a 4th color to, but to be honest, I'm very leery about doing it because it makes the price point, the cost point, a little up there. You know, it also makes, see, this is what I mean. Every once in a while, you'll get a single petal that'll change. And when that happens, I have to go through and, oops, do this. But yeah, I'm just all kinds of great right now. Okay, who's back? Getting a little closer here. I'm not exact, but doesn't mean I don't try. See, now that I have the edging done, if I wanted to use the brush in the middle, I could. The little circle thing. But sometimes it's just easier to do that. Alright. Hopefully that's the only one that does that, but we'll see. That one's going to do it too. Okay. Yeah, you can tell, you know, when they're going to do that to you. You know, but, you know, as you saw, it's fairly easy to fix, so. You know, and that's when they do have a multi-filament profile. Otherwise, I have to separate all the colors, pretty much just like I'm doing. I'll show you guys some of the color profiles that I've already done that we have waiting. I have screenshots of all of them. And you'll see why I've got the screenshots. And yeah, the fan on my bamboo is a little loud today. I think I need to shut her down for a few hours, give her a break. She's pretty much been printing non-stop for a few weeks, well, since I got her. Let's move up a little bit, make sure we got all the pieces here. Okay. Oh, I got a pink spot. Yeah, even when the color profiles are, you know, perfect the way they are and I don't need to change anything around, I still go through like I'm doing now and double check, because I'm very anal when it comes to these. Yeah, I spot these weird color pieces in there. Okay. So, now we have our cherry blossom. Our baby cherry blossom. But yeah, so that's how I pretty much do that. Like I said, I'm not going to make y'all sit there and watch as I go through all of them. You know, and most of them are, you know, fairly easy to do. Yeah, it would help if I was on the right color. If they could all be that easy, I would be absolutely ecstatic. Do the fine detail of searching for my, you know, edge work at the moment. Again, I won't make y'all sit through all of that. Okay, so that should be the last flower. Oh, we missed one. You see it, right? I see it. She was hiding in there. But this is why I kind of zoom around and spin it and all that kind of goody stuff, is so I can find the pieces. But okay, so y'all are seeing this full baby here. Now, none of the babies that I have done so far are at 100% scale. Oh crap! I've been doing them all at 70% scale. Because, again, I'm trying to keep the prices a little bit lower. Um, and this way, too, they're not as big as the adults, you know. So, because the adults can be, you know, like 2 feet long. You know, and of course the babies aren't going to be that long, but, you know, because they don't have the winding tail as much as the big dragons do. And I really should have brought one in here. You know, live and learn. But, alright, so I will bring up, let me actually save this one so I can go back to it. Close that one. Okay, the screen y'all are going to see here in just a moment. And I know it's not going to show you the camera because it's currently printing. I don't know why it does that. It's just really weird. But I can go into this view here so y'all can get a nice good look. This is another version of the Crystal Wolf. And I know you're probably like, black and gray, it looks so plain. It's actually not just black and gray. I mean, yes, the base is black. We used a really nice matte black for the base. And then the gray that you're seeing is actually silver. And I don't know if I have anything printed yet with the silver. And I don't. But, so this is the baby wolf. And he is the wingless version. We do have a winged version. You know, so there's the possibility of that one too. Alright, now I switched this screen to kind of show y'all what I've got going here. He is printing at 50% speed. Okay, you can probably see that from right here. And the reason I have him going so slow is because I noticed just the major, and I mean major difference in how it's printed, you know, how well it prints. So normally, and actually I can speed it up again. There she goes. Normally I do the first 15 to 20% at 50% speed to make sure that bottom, you know, stays nice and secure on the bed, but also, you know, it makes sure those layers are nice and just better. Because I don't know the words I'm looking for at the moment, so just better. And then once it gets to the top of the head, so once it gets to about here, I drop it back down again to that 50% speed, and it creates less stringing and all of that cleanup that I normally have to do. Yeah, so right about here is when I'll drop it back to that 50%, and that way the tips of the crystals that he has, and the tip of his ears and everything come out really, really nice. It's what I did with, you know, Tiny Heart that I was showing you. She still needs a little bit of cleanup, but not as bad as some of the others. She still has a couple little boogers, but not a big deal. I got tools to clean those, which is what I'm going to do right now. Okay. Yeah, the silk white that I have, You know, I don't know if it's the filament. It's brand new, so it shouldn't be the, you know, the filament, but creates what we call a lot of boogers. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this brand for our soak white. And if y'all catch some snoring in the background, I apologize. The other half is asleep. Take the X-Acto to that. Let's get the rest of that one off. I think that's the only place that really needs work. It's just that one spot on here. And I know y'all can't even see what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's go back to the screen. Let's see if y'all can see it. See how the heart kind of, yeah, right there, how it kind of dips up a little bit right in there. So that's what I mean by clean up. And my clippers can't quite get in that fine little area, so she will be taken into the workshop and an X-Acto knife will get that out. But it looks like that might be the only spot. That really needs a bit of work. And that is awesome. But yeah, so this is Tiny Heart. Okay, and very different, like I said, very, very different from Dark Heart and Light Heart. Yeah. This was the first time I tried to print Tiny Heart. It didn't quite work out very well. But I got pieces that I can save from her because her feet, her wings, and the very end of her tail actually came out beautiful. You're like, well, why did it fail? Well, it failed because at about 16%, which I didn't notice at first, part of the bottom actually came loose and was underneath the bed. And so when I went to check on it again at 67%, which is where this is right now, I noticed there was a gap underneath and the tail was wiggling. So I was like, okay, something's not right. So I paused the print, and of course I touched it just slightly to see, what was going on. And when I touched this piece over here, it actually moved and wiggled, and I was like, okay, so something's up there. And as you can see behind me, the printer has a very small light in it, so I couldn't see everything that was going on, so I grabbed a flashlight and had a flashlight looking in there, and that's when I noticed that the two links that were down here, the bottom quarter of them were just gone. They were missing. So I was like, okay, we need to stop that one. So I stopped the print, and I took it off the bed, and that's when I really got a good look at how much was wrong with it, and I was like, well, okay, if something can be salvaged, what can be salvaged? Well, as long as I don't break it in the process. but thankfully these guys are actually pretty sturdy. So both the wings are salvageable. Both wings are good. Okay, the feet are salvageable. So the feet are good. Okay, and like I said, this last piece of the tail is salvageable and good. So I'm going to see, you know, if I can truly salvage them and get them off of the rest of the print without breaking them or damaging them irrevocably. And if I can do that, then I will make little keychains. So this will be a little keychain, and it's so cute. But yeah, so that's what I plan on doing with that. For now, I keep it up out of the way because kitties. And then this one, once I take pictures and post the pictures and the time lapse up on our Facebook, then he will go with the rest of the production out in my living room. I got them all lined up on my TV stand, or credenza, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I showed you guys the one that's in the printer, which is Baby Wolf. Okay, so I'm going to minimize that one. Let's find out. Oop. That was right. Alright, let's see. This one, so... Oh, wait, I don't need to do that. See? Bring. Hello. Go here. Okay, now keep in mind when I show you guys these, because these are just the screenshots. The name and the colors I use are up there. You're also going to see a box that, lists the filaments, and it's going to say what the total filament is, the filament, how many times it changes filaments, what it costs me, how long it takes to prepare, how long it takes to print, and what that total time is, and so on and so forth. Okay. Wrong one. Okay, so screen share. And then we are going to change which window it's trying to copy. Huh. Okay, that is weird. Let's try it again. Well, this is definitely not a baby dragon, but let's see if we can see it. Okay, let's see. Capture, okay. Photos automatic, okay. I'm not really sure what is going on with my thing today. This is just really weird. Oops. and see what happens. Oops. Sorry, wrong screen. Okay, yeah, for some reason it's just not, it does not want to let me at all share any of these windows. It's just giving me a hard time, apparently. Now, I apologize, guys. It's, for some reason, it's just telling me no, and I don't understand why. And when I click it, it pops up in the wrong spot. So, let's see if I can't do this a different way. Yeah, for some reason my stuff is just being a pain in my butt. And I have my screen share screen, but it's just, for some reason it's just not working properly. Alright, we're gonna try something. I have no idea if that actually worked or not. Haha. Okay. I'm leaving it big. Okay, so as you can see, this is Baby Leghart, and her color profile is done already. She is going to be a cold white base with the silk white for her nails and her eyes and her teeth. And then she'll have a rose gold, which I can actually show you. So I'm going to leave that up for right now and go back to the main. I can show you some of what we've got going here. Oh, heavy box. Okay, and this one has black or green and purple. And this is the one that's got our metallics. Yay. Okay, so these are very, very, very small spools. All right, you guys see the big ones that I have, you know, stacked up back here. You know, a normal size 1 kilogram spool. You know, just give me a size reference here. You know, fills up this entire thing. But what I had ordered, this little box that I ordered, is basically a quarter spool. Okay, so you can fit 1,000 on here. These are 250s. Okay, and since I'm going to be using this one next, I'm going to have to open her up anyway. Now, they are adorable, don't get me wrong, and You know, but I would have actually preferred they save the money from the plastic, put it on a cardboard spool this size, because it would have just been a lot easier, because of how tight these little ones wind. And so when you have to re-spool them onto the bigger spools, unfortunately, the inside layer becomes the outside layer on these bigger ones. And it's kind of a pain in the butt because it's so tight, because it's been this way, you know. And so it ends up being so tight that I end up having to open up my AMS unit, which is the piece that houses all of the 4 spools that I'm printing with. And I end up having to open it up, pick up the spool that, you know, this was rewound on, and turn it like 10 times and put it back in there. And then it'll work for 2 or 3 times, and then I'll have to do it again. Basically to make it so it's not so tight. Oh, this, I actually don't want to open at the moment, but you can see, okay, the pretty silver, same color that I'm doing the stones on the baby wolf. Okay. This is the rose gold that I'll be using for the baby Lightheart. Okay. The next one that we've got, let me bring up the next one, hold on. Okay, so Lightheart, bring up Darkheart. Wait till you get a load of Darkheart. He's just awesome. I love the way he's coming out. Okay, let's go back to the screen share page. Okay, baby Darkheart. Isn't he awesome? And yes, those are the colors that I am printing him in. He's going to be matte black for his base, silk white, of course, for his eyes and his nails and his teeth, and then the matte yellow. Now, I am debating on whether I want to do, let me go back, do a gold instead of just a standard yellow. But we'll see, because after this one is done printing, I believe, let me double check. So after that one is done printing, I'm going to print the Lighthearts. Basically the ones that I don't need the black for. I have more black coming, but it won't be here until Wednesday. So while I'm waiting for more black to come in, I'll be doing the other colors. Oh, and I got one more dragon to show you. And this is a full-size dragon. You're going to love her. So you see baby Darkheart. Now, check her out. Isn't she gorgeous? I would have added a 4th color. I'm still tempted to add a 4th color because it's not going to change the printing time. It'll just change the cost. Because this definitely changes when I add a 4th color. She will probably be the most expensive dragon that we have. Oh, did I close that on you? I'm sorry. But yeah, she will probably be the most expensive one that we have. Let's see. Go to the butterfly. to open that up in bamboo. There we go. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit so you can get the full effect here. There we go. As you can see, she has quite a bit of detail on her. I know she doesn't look like she has as much detail as the others, but she actually has quite a bit more. Okay, you zoom in nice and close, you can see a lot of the detail. Now since I have this color profile saved, I can experiment a little bit. Let's see, because I want to do those in the rose gold, so if I add in a simple gold, let's do these first. Go over here, choose the gold. Oh, we want the fill. There we go. It's gonna go all funky on me. It doesn't want to go straight. Wow. Can't really blame it there. Okay, and keep in mind, you know, these colors are definitely not exact as you see them on this screen. Basically, I'm just using the basic color palette. You know, they don't have stuff that looks shiny or, you know, metallic in any way, stuff like that. Oops. I forgot to select the right piece. Let me take this, this. Like we've got a couple little spots here we'll have to manually do that with, which that's fine. And we got a white spot over here we gotta do as well. Yeah, so as you can see why I do the fine look through when I go through it all. Oops. It happens. Okay. Oh, look at that. See? Like I said, this is why I do the fine looky throughs. We gotta get that circle a little smaller. That might be too small. There we go. Alright. I think. Ah, there we go. Not quite sure how I missed them the first time around, but okay. I think that, yep. Told you, I'm anal. Oh, there's a black spot there. There we go. That fixes that. I'm trying to see if there's one on the other side. Okay. Alright, I think this is good. So, it'd be rose gold and gold would be the two colors on this one. And then I would slice it. It'll get there, just give it a minute. Okay, so it's currently slicing the plate. And it does take a few minutes. And since I'm streaming at the same time, it may take a minute or two extra. Let's actually shrink this down a little bit. And of course it's going to throw the warnings at me that I have, you know, hovering pieces. Okay, so this particular dragon, as I showed you before, takes just a little over 2 days to print. And that's going at normal speed and standard quality. Now with the babies, I do just a little bit higher of quality. I do, I do optimal, or what they call high quality. Um, and now it's going to make me wait before I do anything else. There we go. But yeah, I do, I print the babies on a 0.16. And it depends on timing too, because if I print the baby on a 0.2, then I go down here to, where is it? Ironing. And I just smooth out the surfaces a bit. You can really see the difference on the two babies that I showed, the broken one and the finished one. You can see the difference with the ironing versus without it. Okay, so now what you guys are seeing in that top box up here, you're seeing my filament change went up by like 400. I went from 9 something now to $13.91, and cost to print went from $15 to $19 because I added in that 4th filament. Okay, and my print time went up to almost 3 days. Okay, so she is a big one. She is definitely come on. Alright, let's try it this way. If I drop her down to 70%, which is still a pretty good sized dragon, because her wings are huge. But if I drop her down, let's see if we can't reduce that time slightly, because I don't want to reduce the quality, because no, just no. Sorry, I've had a tickle in my throat for about a week now, and it won't go away. With her, it's 70%, still the 4 colors. Come on, work, 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 work. Close out some of these, and maybe we'll have a little bit easier of a time. Free up some memory. Need that. Okay, sorry if y'all saw the screens going back and forth. Much better. Okay, at a 70% scale, which is still a really good sized dragon, she takes just under 2 days, but the cost is definitely a lot more feasible for the prices that I like to keep. So she'd still be really good quality. She'd just be slightly smaller, because I don't want to have to charge, $35 and $40 for a dragon. That's just insane. And I realize that there are people out there that do, and that's for them. For me, though, I like to keep my cost as low as possible. the economy's not so great, and I'm aware of that. So, yeah. Now, I'm going to close that because I'm going to reopen the original. Okay, so this is the original with 3 colors. And there's a reason that I wanted to load this one. So if I drop her down to 80, which again, really good size. As you can see, click slice. This is still the 3 color profile. We will check on and I might make her dots white to kind of match the curls on her. And we'll see what that does for a change. Now, my favorite colors, of course, are turquoise and purple, and I love putting them on absolutely everything if I can, but not everybody wants purple and turquoise. So I'm trying to get creative with my colors. Now, hence the reason for the rose gold and, ooh, I wonder if, okay, see, ideas. Sorry, I'm looking around at my filaments at the same time here. And you'll come to notice that I don't use a ton of red, and that's because it bleeds. So I end up using a ton more filament because I have to use what's called a purge block. And I'll show that to you here in a minute as well. Okay, just a day and a half. So that's definitely much better. Definitely much better. But if we add in that 4th color. Oh wait, no, that's not what I was going to do. So take that off. Let's do this again. So still use the 3 colors we've got. Give her a little bit more. There goes the fan on the printer again. Wrong button. There we go. Oh, that looks really good with the white up there. Okay, so that still gives us a little extra with that added um, those added sections there with the third color. So let's see what that does for our print time. It'll definitely change the number of filament changes, which I'm not worried about that. But let's see what damage it does to the time and the cost. Okay, still doable. Okay, so that works. Okay, so I could, leave it like that, which is still really pretty. The other option, of course, yeah, I could add the fourth color. Let me try it this way. Let's turn that one yellow. Let's turn this one white. And if I make it so the fourth color is only for her eyes and her teeth, because I'm not doing the nails on this one, and I'll explain that in just a moment. And those are supposed to be black. There we go. I forgot to do the teeth on the first time around. get to that in a second. That works out nicely. Okay. And double check this side. Okay, I think it should be just about there. That one doesn't want to go away. And then we got more up here. And a couple up here. I'm trying to do those with the triangles so I don't miss any piece of them. And there is some up here. Alright guys, hold on 1 second and I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Alright, so let's go back to it. Oh, see, this is why I search around like that, because you never know. Oops. Alright. that's the one thing that kind of annoys the crap out of me about this program. There it is. And I know I saw those yellows. I'll go back to it in just a moment. Okay. Over to our yellow here. I see. Okay, and I think the head is good. Nope. Y'all don't see anything, do you? Okay. So that would be the only white that I would add. So let's see what that does for our change. First, let me I do want her right there. There's a reason I did that, and it's because of how I watch it when it's printing, and the camera comes from this side, so I want to be able to see what's going on while it's printing. But okay, so not bad, not bad at all. Let's slice that and see what that does. Because I try to keep the cost of the dragons, the full-size dragons, $15 and under. You know, a little over is not so bad, but you know, I try to keep it as low as possible to keep, you know, the price you guys pay as low as possible. Respool. Excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so I know on average we normally do around a 3-hour stream. Today will probably be 2, if that, because we're at 1.5 already, so. Okay. That is really good. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, it still takes, 2 full days to print, which is fine. Like I said, I got to get this, wait till Wednesday when our new spool of black comes in anyway, so. So I am going to save that because I really like the way that came out, and the filament changes, the costs, all on par. So we should be good there. Alright, so this is going to be EoMA. Well, the other one is EoMA. This is going to be EoMB. This will have the 4-color profile. But I think rose gold and gold will look really good together, don't you? I could also do now a rose gold silver. Or actually, that actually looks really pretty together. So, I don't know. I will figure out the second color, but it's probably either going to be gold or silver. So, there's that. But, alright, so that's what we've done so far. With our color profiles, we've got the dark heart and the light heart babies still to print. We have possibly 2 or 3 more full-size dragons that I'm looking into printing. So far, just the butterfly is ready to go. Now I just got to figure out whether I want to do the 3-color or the 4-color, which right now I'm leaning towards the 4-color since I managed to get that to where it well, hello DC. But I managed to get that to where my cost is $15 and under. So that translates to lower cost for you guys. Oh, you're fine. Okay, so as I was saying, we've got the couple of babies. Their color profiles are done. They're ready to be printed. And then we've got the one big dragon as of right now. I'm sorry, no, I have 2, but I have to wait probably about another week or so, because while I have black filament coming Wednesday, there's a special filament that I want for the other dragon that I have the profile done for, and that's going to take me probably about a week or 2 before I can get that one, and that one is a speckled black, or sparkle, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, when you print it out, it just looks like the night sky with stars. It's really, really pretty, and I'm doing that for the lunar dragon. So we'll have this beautiful, lunar dragon whose base has that sparkle black on it. With the little white moons and, all that kind of good stuff. And I think y'all are really going to like it. I can already tell you it's going to be one of my favorites, other than the cherry blossom. And I showed you guys the baby for her too. She's ready to be printed. All I got to do is finish the nails on her, as I showed you guys earlier. And then she's ready to go. So that's one more baby that'll be printed. And it's slightly different than the full-size version, because the full-size version, what you guys saw me doing with the flowers on the baby cherry blossom, I did not do that with the full-size. I will get there. And depending on my pink, I may end up printing another full-size cherry blossom, but we'll see. And I may take the one that is sitting out there with the rest of them and keep her as my display, which I was originally going to do anyway because she took a month to print. I know I probably got somebody going, What are you talking about, a month? Well, and she normally takes 18 hours, okay? But this particular print, we got to 89% and the printer went down, okay? At that time, we were still using DC's printer. And they have a beautiful bamboo X1C, so, not much different than ours. Theirs just has an artificial intelligence in theirs where ours does not. No, that's pretty much the only difference between the two machines. Okay, so what had happened was the AMS unit. I know I keep talking about that AMS. Basically, that little container that feeds the 4 filaments into the printer. There's a compression fitting on the back that the filament feeds through, and unfortunately, it has these little metal teeth. So when you push those dopey little compression, so when you feed the filament through, it's those little teeth that help keep everything in place. Well, unfortunately, they had gotten broken because they're very flimsy and they do degrade after time, and so they degraded. The machine. It was about that time because the machine is just about a year old. In a month, actually, it'll be a year old, so it's 11 months old. So every time the printer would tell the AMS unit, start feeding this filament, it would start to feed the filament, but then it would pop out of the back of the AMS unit because those little metal teeth had degraded and they were gone. So the compression fitting wasn't compressing. And so it would just keep feeding the filament and feeding until it figured it out that, oh, wait, this isn't reaching the head. And so it took, about a week for us to finally, narrow it down to that one piece, because we had replaced all the Bowden tubing, or PTFE tube, whatever you want to call it. But we had replaced all the tubing, we had replaced parts on the hot ends, the nozzles. So we had tried everything to not have to replace that one little piece, because, take this for example. If this piece breaks, you got to replace the whole thing. Okay, well, with the AMS unit, all the pieces can come out separately, except for that little freaking compression fitting. It's built into the little hub, so you have to buy the entire little hub and replace that. Just for that tiny little compression fitting. They really, really need to make it to where you can replace the compression fittings without having to replace an entire component. Because it's those compression fittings that wear out the quickest because of those tiny little teeth. So that's why that printer was down for almost a month. But and this is why I chose a bamboo for us, because number one, it makes beautiful prints. It really does. It was one of the things I liked right off the bat. And the fact that I don't have to constantly, consistently, be right on top of the machine watching what it does, every little thing it does, like previous printers in the past. So, these printers are a lot more reliable, and the precision on them is a lot better. They're just so easy to work with, and even when something goes wrong, you have to replace a part and stuff like that. While it's annoying, it's easy to work with, which makes a huge difference. Now, as my wife would say, this is the very first 3D printer that I've had that I haven't wanted to throw in the trash, and she's right. You know, I've had quite a few printers, you know. Yeah, for the X1C, yeah, it was 11 months before the first major failure. No, 10 months, baby. Because we're at 11 months now, so the printer's only 11 months old. So it took 10 months before the first major failure. And that's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Because every printer we have had in the past, you were looking at major failures within the first month. And I'm not exaggerating at all. You know, I'm... And do not get me wrong, because this is a good brand printer and they are a good company and whatnot. And I'm not talking about the Bamboo. I'm actually talking about Prusa. You know, they're a good brand printer for what they are. They're a good company and everything like that. But I had gotten a Prusa Mini, and you know, within 2 weeks of me having it, of course, I had an issue. Yes, for the Bamboos, most issues are very minor, and and yeah, the fact that you can turn the printer off, you know, 5 and 6 different times, and you turn it back on, and guess what? That printer is going to ask you if you want to resume the print. You know, so it was just incredible, really incredible. Even a month later, you know, resuming the print, and it worked. You know, so yeah. Anybody asks me about Bamboo, I wholly endorse it. But so yeah, for me, you know, I'm absolutely in love with my printer. It's been doing beautifully. Yes, it can be a little loud today. Um, Now, like I said, I think she needs a break. She's been going for, you know, pretty much 2 weeks straight. So after this dragon is done, I'll turn her off for the rest of the night, and I mean actually power her off, and you know, let her rest for the night, and probably tomorrow as well, because I know everybody's probably thinking, well, you just added streams, you know, for Tuesday and Thursday. When do you actually take a day off? Mondays. That's when I take a day off. Yes, I did. That's another thing is if you have your printer hooked up to a battery backup or anything, your power goes out, your printer's going to keep going. um, you know, it's another thing that I absolutely love about these printers. You know, you got the SD card slot in there, you know, so it holds that information, you know, and not necessarily, you know, even if you didn't print from your SD card, like for me, you know, I had talked about, you know, I finally figured out the time lapse feature on our printer to be able to share, you know, the time lapses with you guys. And, sorry, you know, I figured out that if I print from the actual printer, from the SD card in the printer, I don't get a time lapse video. But if I print from the app on my computer, I get the time lapse video. So I've started making sure that I come in here, I double check everything, you know, and I do my settings and everything from the computer, and I click print from the computer. That way, when the print is done, I have that time lapse video. Um, you know, and again, we had a power outage the other night, Friday night or Saturday night. I don't remember which. Anyway, you know, 4 o'clock in the morning, power goes out, and I still got a print going in the printers. You know, my wife still had a print going in her printer, and while hers kept chugging along when the power went out because she had the UPS, mine did not. Okay, I don't have mine on a UPS, so the power actually went down on my printer. But lo and behold, when the power came back, first thing my printer did was ask me, "Do you want to resume the print? You lost power." Well, yeah. Click yes and beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Wait, no, today's Sunday, baby. Thursday night. Thursday night. It was Thursday night. Because Katie came the following day, correct? So it was Thursday night. I mean, yeah, I could look at my phone and tell you exactly what day. Really? It doesn't feel like a week. Wow. Okay, so you're saying I was right, it was Thursday night? Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so yeah, anyway, and apparently I got an email yesterday about it, saying that it was a needed repair, uh, but that was pretty much all they said. Thank you for your cooperation and your patience. During this needed repair. Dude, I got insulate in my fridge. You need to warn me when these needed repairs come up. At least, that's my opinion. How, they don't know who has what in their home, or what requires what. Heaven forbid if I had somebody on, oxygen or something that has to be plugged in. And the power goes out. What are you supposed to do? Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, okay, so yeah, we've got our dragons all going really, really well. I'm not trying to jinx anything. I'm trying to, hence the reason why I have been sharing, every tiny little bit of piece of progress that we make with them. Because when I tried doing that, we started having failures. So my mind pretty much went to, okay, let's not overdo it, rush ourselves or all that kind of goody stuff, and I'll update that we've got a dragon in the printer, and then I update with the pictures and the time lapse and all of that when the print is done. But as of right now, this printer really hasn't stopped much for anything other than a break here and there. So yeah, when this particular dragon is done, I'm going to shut the printer off for the night and let it rest. And yes, I've been invaded by aliens. My baby printed me this awesome articulated little alien. Isn't he cute? And of course he sits, really well. Even his head moves. He's a little bobblehead. Tell me, isn't he awesome? So he sits and looks down. He watches me. He's my little watcher. Okay, y'all will learn I have a complete fascination with all things alien. You mention aliens to me, and oh yeah, I can have days worth of conversations about aliens. But all right, so then printer's still doing good. Doing a filament change at the moment, so we've got our candles made, our wax melts are done, our wax tarts are done. They're all in their containers, with the exception of a few candles that I still have running around, because I gave a couple away. So I had to make a couple more. And then I've got a few testers that I'm working on as well. So and these are the jars that I'm using to test with. Um, so like this particular one, this one I believe is, this is a mixture of two. Um, okay, so this one here and this one here, as you can see, I got this one labeled scent tester, but all three of these are a scent tester. um, this one I'm also testing out the wick, the wood wick with this particular scent, because I know it's going to be slightly different than one without a wick. And this is just a warmer, this is an actual candle, but these both have the same scent. And it's a mixed scent that I'm trying, and it's a combination of our rugged. Actually, that's my fault. The camera being off center is my fault. And there's a reason, I'll explain for that later. But anyway, so they are a mixture of our rugged and our firewood. Now, there's a reason she's so excited for this one. And that's because I am crafting, hopefully, these scents for a very specific reason. If this one burns, awesome, the hot throw is great on it, and basically Sonia will let me know just how good this one is, and I'm relying on her opinion for this one, because of the very reason that I'm creating this particular scent. This particular scent is geared towards firefighters. Okay, I am hoping to make a set of candles for each branch of service, for military service and for firefighters, officers, possibly even medics, and so on and so forth. One of the things that I noticed over the years being married to a retired firefighter, EMT, and tanker is certain smells that they're used to bring such a calming atmosphere to them, like with Sonia, because of her days as a firefighter. Something like this is very soothing. And that's why we're testing this fully, is because I am hoping that this is a scent that will, kind of bring her back to that time and, soothe her. So that's kind of my hope for that one. We have a scent called Dauntless that I would like to use for our police officers. And it's going to be mixed in with and I haven't tested this yet, so, but it's going to be mixed in with just a hint of a coffee flavor. I'm not going to do donuts. I mean, come on, people. Coffee. So you figure, that would make a great scent for officers. Because Dauntless is already a great scent for them to begin with. And you add in that little bit of coffee flavor to boost it, and I think it would be perfect. And then I've got some more that I'm kind of playing with a little bit and seeing how they'll smell. I've got a few more that I want to do over the course of this week. Now, they won't, even if these turn out great and everything, they will not be available in our event next month. Okay? But hopefully the big event after that they will be ready for. I'm trying to prepare for little bundles and gift things and stuff like that for the holidays. Yes, my brain is already there because all of this, these kind of things take up to 6 weeks to be ready once you make them. So I would rather start thinking about that now, since it takes a month and a half to have it ready. And that doesn't even include the time that it takes to make those. With all my candles and everything, it took me 2 weeks to make most of my candles and my wax melts. So that's kind of the timeline that I'm basing everything on. So it'll take me a full 2 months to have stuff like the gift baskets and things like that I want to do. So I figure if I start doing those in August, then they're ready by October, which is about the time when people start thinking about the holidays and they start buying things for the holidays and preparing for Christmas. It's also going to be about the time where we introduce a few new scents, limited edition scents, which I already have some and I can show. Okay, so these 4 bottles have not been touched. And the reason they haven't been touched is because these are limited edition scents. Okay, these will only be available during the fall seasons. Okay, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, so the very first one, and there we go, is Autumn Harvest. Beautiful fall scent. It really is. Okay, y'all are gonna love these. I'll save that one for last. Okay, so we have pumpkin picking. Okay, so you got that beautiful aroma of not just the pumpkins, but the leaves, the dirt, everything. See, now I just want to open them and smell them all. Okay, and then we've got beautiful scent of just the fall leaves. Have you ever picked up, the leaves? They're not dead, but they've just managed to fall off the tree, so they still have that scent to them. But they just smell like fall. I don't know how else to explain it, but it does. It just smells like fall. And that's what that bottle is. Okay, and last but definitely not least, okay, something, a lot of people that I know already know about me, but of course y'all don't. I don't like pumpkin. I know, bad me. I don't like the taste of pumpkin. I just don't. Never have. But the smell is something completely different. I love the smell of pumpkin. This particular one is my favorite. The smell of pumpkin pie. Oh, I love the smell of pumpkin pie. And I don't know who doesn't love the smell of pumpkin pie. But those are just a glimpse of what will be offered during the fall months. And then, of course, I'm hoping to pick up, 3 or 4 for winter, and, because we got a ton of spring and summer scents. Now, of course, because those are the most popular scents. But, I would still, of course, like to offer, things for other seasons as well, which is why I've got the fall. And then when I find some good, really good winter scents, and I'm not talking, pine tree or what are some of the other ones? I don't even remember. And, they got that pine tree and gingerbread. No, I want some true winter scents. Don't get me wrong. Pine trees and gingerbread cookies and all that. That's great. And they do smell really nice, but I try to look for things that are a little different. I like to go outside the box. for lack of a better term. But yeah, so we've got plans. Let me put these away. Autumn. Uh, the my brain is not quite functioning. Um, I already have some, skipping on to another subject here, I already have some scents and everything picked out for the soaps that I want to do. The soaps that we're going to be doing Tuesday, they're not going to be full bar soaps. I'm doing a lot of travel soaps because I want people to be able to basically try our soaps and everything before I start getting into the bigger bars and all of that. Basically make sure people like them before I, get full on into them. So that's my line of thinking there. But let's see. Okay, so those are the soaps, which we'll be doing Tuesday. Turning in the printer, candles, wax melts. We've got the herbs. The foaming soaps are done. I think that may actually be it. I'm looking around trying to make sure. Okay, yeah, I think that will just about cover it for today. Oh, we did start using some new labels. Hold on. Oh, that smells so good. Okay, so I'm sure some of y'all might remember the labels that I was using for our wax tarts. Okay, we're using these little oval labels for the wax tarts. Okay, that's all I had on there. The new ones, okay. By the way, these are on clearance. These are the new ones, new baggies. First thing you see is the warning label on the back, okay, with the directions of use. And then we've got the new labels on the front. Okay, the new labels also include the net weight, our contact information. I'm not going to list the ingredients because there's two things: pure soy wax and fragrance oil. That's it. I'm not putting any, colors, dyes, anything like that into the new stuff. So, like, with this one you have nice bright yellow color for the gardenia. But these are pure white. And, of course, not all of the new ones are pure white because the fragrance oil does color a little bit depending on the oil. Let's see if I've got one handy. Alright, let's see if y'all can see the difference here. I'm not really sure. One looks slightly pinker than the other. This one looks slightly pinker. And that's accurate. That's because the Lick Me All Over fragrance is red. Yeah, red. So, of course, it tints the wax. But there are no added colors to any of the new wax melts, the new wax tarts, candles. There's no colors to any of them. And the reason I had chosen to do that was because I was going around my house one day and I was cleaning out all my Scentsy pots, and I noticed that You know, especially when you use mica powders for colors, which I know a lot of people do in their wax melts, and I did as well. Um, but you know, one of the things that I noticed is in the wax melters, all the color seeps right down to the bottom. Okay, and so when you're cleaning it out, you get this gunk all on the bottom, and and another one of my wax melters, because it gets pretty hot, um, it had actually burned a little bit of the mica powder to the bottom of my wax melter. And so I had to take a melamine sponge to the inside of the wax melter dish to be able to get that burnt off mica powder off. Um, so that was my reasoning behind not using the colors anymore for my wax melts and my wax tarts. You're probably like, well, what about the candles? My candles are different. Okay, and the reasons that I'm not using color on my candle, and I'll explain these. Okay, well, for starters, you know, I have my crystal series, which have crystals on the top. Okay, these candles need no color. The crystals that are on the top are the color. Okay, so like this one's chamomile. It smells really good, but it has labradorite crystals on the top. Okay, and then like, oh, my little alien. Sorry, I'm trying to get him to stay up here a minute. Okay. Oh, this is a good one to show. Okay, this is sandalwood, and it smells really, really good, but it has tiger's eye on the top of it. Okay, so that's, you know, just a quick example of why I don't do colors on my crystal series. Now, yes, I've got the bigger candles that have, you know, no crystals on them. But they still don't have color. Again, this one's chamomile, so. Oh, that was the one I wanted there. Okay. So good. This is my personal candle, this one here. And there's a reason for it, is because it is an actual tester. And that's because I have a pressed wick to be able to test the pressed wick. Because I already know the container and the wax and the fragrance is perfect from all the rest. But I need to test the different style that I did with the wick there. Okay, I do plan on, and this isn't going to be anytime soon, it'll probably be about a year before I start doing this. I do plan on doing bigger candles in glass jars. Probably somewhere, the jar itself would probably be 12 or 14 ounces. The candle itself will be probably 8 to 10 ounces. And there's a reason for that. Because I plan on, while the candle will still be white, okay, there will be decor on the top. Okay, that decor will be in embeds. Okay, so I would essentially, like if I made red hearts, okay, say I'm working with Endless Love fragrance, okay, I'd make some, you know, nice red hearts and, you know, do the candle and everything, and then I would put these beautiful red hearts and probably some green leaves and stuff like that on the top of the candle. And that's where my pop of colors are going to come in, is with the embeds and that we're going to be doing with the bigger candles. Okay, so once we get to those nice big candles, that's where you're going to start seeing the pop of colors in the wax. Okay, and of course as you melt it and everything, that color will mix in with, you know, the base of the candle and make that colorful as well. So that's kind of where my line of thinking is there, because it makes things a lot easier, rather than, and that way I can do smaller batches too, because I can have all of these, you know, do, you know, one full set of Endless Love fragrance all in red. Um, but then I can do a set of 10 candles at once, you know, and do 5 different fragrances, you know, and no color, so nice and easy, you know. Just put it in my container, which I can find. You know, put it in my container, and I'll measure out what I need, put my fragrance in there, and pour it in the jar. No extra steps needed. I have 2 different kinds of coloring that I can use. Actually, I have 3 different kinds of coloring that I can use. Sorry, bone tube for the printer. Anyway, so the colors that I can use, so I've got my liquid color dyes, okay, nice liquids. I've got my actual wax piece dyes, okay, so basically I could just throw a couple of these in my wax, let it melt, and it'll colorize. So there's that. Get back in there. And of course, the first one I grab would be a purple. And then I've got my mica powders. Okay, so, and these aren't all the mica powders. I've got a bunch more in there, but now they do say, you know, you really shouldn't use mica powders with wick candles because it'll clog the wick. Now I have heard that many times about cotton wicks, hemp wicks, things like that. I actually haven't heard that about the wood wicks. So I am going to try, you know, probably one of these jars, you know, with a colorized wax in it with the mica powders to see how the wood wicks will handle the mica powders. Because I want to make sure, so when I start adding the embeds to the top of the candles with the bigger candles, I want to make sure that, you know, whatever colors that I'm using aren't going to clog the wood wicks. So that's another thing that I'm going to be testing out as well. And we'll get into all that. You'll most likely see me do a lot of it. Let's see. Alright, Sonia love, can you think of anything else? Okay, well, see if she's thinking about anything else. If not, it's a good time to remind everybody. Let me see. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Get me all excited. Okay, I'm going to screen share. Okay. And of course it did its own little thing. They really like doing that to me, don't they? Okay. Now you see me? Now you don't. Okay, so you see our great little counter going to the Soul Good Market next month. We got 34 days, 18 hours, 47 minutes, and of course bunches of seconds. I am so super excited for next month. I can't even tell y'all how excited I am because you could probably see me. I'm actually starting to vibrate now. I've been looking forward to getting back out into the markets basically since I stepped back because I really enjoy doing them. I love interacting with you guys and seeing your faces and everything as you smell the candles or the soaps and things like that. So come on, y'all, be there. Okay, it is the Soul Good Market event at the El Encanto Event Center on Western. And we will be there June 16th from noon. Okay, it starts at noon. So from noon to 6 p.m. and we will be there the entire time. Okay. Um, hmm. You can even bring a debit card because guess what? We take debit cards. All right. We do have our own little system that we use. We go through Square for that. So your payments are 100% secure. Um, through our Square. We've got our little uh, um, Square stand and everything. So a little register. Of course she was. Anyway, so um, if you don't want to take cash out of the ATM to go to an event, that's okay. We understand that. We take debit cards too. um, but yeah, so this is our locations page, which has our timer on it, and as you can see, we've got our calendar underneath that, which shows our live streams. Now, right now, for our Tuesdays and Thursday streams, I chose 6 p.m. because usually most people are home from work by then and, all that kind of goody stuff. Now, I have thought about maybe taking one of them, either Tuesdays or Thursdays, and making it earlier in the day for those who work second shift. All right. But it's just a thought, you guys need to, communicate with me. Let me know. If you guys can't make it for a 6 p.m. stream, give me a new time. I am flexible and I am willing to work with it. So there's that. If we go over to June, okay, you see our event for June 16th, okay? And if you click on that, it shows you the address. You can click on map. It'll bring up the map. But you don't necessarily have to if you scroll down a little further. This shows the address, the date, the time, and of course the map where you can get directions from and view the larger map to be able to meet us there. Now, this particular section will always show whatever our next in-person event is going to be. Okay, which I think I'm actually going to put a little blurb up here kind of explaining that. So if you're in May and you look down here, you're going to say, oh, June 16th, that's the next time they're going to be at an in-person event. Okay, and then our time and the address. But if we have like 15 events, up here, you're only going to see the next one here. Okay, but of course you can click on the event itself, like I showed you, and you can get the address and the map, for one that's later in the future. I'm hoping to be able to go out to swap meet, flea market type deals, event centers, stuff like that, twice a month. Right now, that's the goal, is twice a month. But we'll see how it goes and kind of go from there. And did it go away? Oh no, I think it just went away because I minimized the page. Sorry. But alright, y'all, I think that is it. I think we covered everything. Don't forget, June 16th. Okay. El Encanto Event Center. It's off of Western in South Oklahoma City. Okay, so if you're coming down Western from anywhere in in Oklahoma, pretty much, you're almost going to get to Moore. If you know where the Winchester Drive-In Theater is, that's about where the event center is. So that's where you're going to want to go. Okay, let's see. Oh, there's one there. Okay. Sorry, just double checking everything. But okay, so yeah, we are hoping that there might be a possibility that we could potentially be at Mary's, say the 29th and 30th, Western and north of 240, right? Yes. I believe so. I can actually pull that up and double check. Okay, I'm going to share this screen really quick so y'all can kind of get a better idea. Because I zoomed in all nice and close. But, okay, so this big red dot, that is the event center. Okay, you got 35 here and the 240 here. Okay, so if you're taking the 240, you get off on Western, go north. If you're taking the 35, best thing I can suggest, get off on the 59th and then come south on Western. Okay, if you're using the 44, okay, again, you can either take the 44 down to 240 and go north on Western, or you could take the 44 to 59th and then come south on Western. Okay. Yeah, if you know where, and I know a lot of people should know where this one is. If you know where Taste of China is, it's not that far. Okay, it looks like, let's see. And it's on the corner of Western and 67th Street. Okay. Let's see. I was trying to see if there's... Okay. You can see right here. Here's the Winchester Drive-In Theater, y'all. Okay. You've got the Drive-In Theater right here. And the event center is just slightly north of that. So that's where we're going to be. Or CC's. Yeah, I didn't even think about CC's. Okay. But that is it for today. And I will keep reminding y'all about June. Because the closer we get, the more excited I get. Like I said, I can't wait. I am beyond thrilled. Oh. Well, now she wants me to go back and do that. Okay, hold on. Okay, so, and I don't know how to do all that. It doesn't, yeah, I don't know how to do that on here. Okay, well, there's satellite. Okay, and I might be able to... actually go right here for right now. We're going to drop our people in here. Okay, where am I? I'm confused. Alright, there's 67. So... I can only assume there's the event center. It's actually a very small place. Okay, but by what I understand, they are going to have a ton of vendors inside. And they are going to have a ton of vendors outside. I'm going to assume this is either gone or going to be gone by the time. Because they have said that there's going to be a bunch of outdoor spaces. So I'm assuming all of this is going to need to be part of that. Since there isn't a whole ton of parking, but they did say we were allowed to use the little mini shopping center's parking lot as well. So, yeah. Okay, and back we go. Okay, so I have kitties crying at my door. Because they've heard me say a couple of times already that we're just about done. So now they're trying to get in. They're like, okay, now it's our turn. And we are switching filaments again. So far, she's looking great. Oh yeah, she's gonna be really pretty. I should say he's gonna be really pretty. But okay, guys, that is it for today. And we will see you again in just a couple of days because we are going to be back on Tuesday at 6 p.m. for another live stream. All right. Have a great day, y'all. Blessed be. See y'all Tuesday.